Hey everybody, you got the dude here with American Metal Magazine. Up and coming, we have a new band for you, awaiting Abigale, who is tearing up the charts. So check it out exclusively on American Metal Magazine. Hey everybody, you got the dude here with American Metal Magazine, and we've done it this time. We were able to bring you one of the top bands on the independent network, and this is Awaiting Abigale. Say hello, Awaiting Abigale, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, that's awesome. Well, I was saying before we started what a real thrill it is to talk to these folks. I've been following them for quite some time. They've been on the top 10 on American Metal Magazine's top 10 videos. And I remember the first time that I heard them, I just was blown away. And here they are on the show. So we're really super excited. I guess we're going to jump into some of the obvious things. First of all, you guys got some new music out, right? What's going on with the
Yes.
new release? Anybody can tell me about that?
Do you want me to talk about it or do you want
Yeah,
to,
go, Abby.
James?
Yeah, you can take it, Abby.
Our new song called Left Out just came out, and it's always been a huge hit. Like in our live concerts, everyone loves that song, and they've always been like, when is it coming out? And so we can finally say it's out now. It's it sounds amazing. It's like it was a work in progress for a while, and it's it's just awesome. It sounds amazing.
It is an incredible track, along with everything else that I've ever heard from this band. And you know what? I'd like to know a little bit more actually about this particular song. Was there something behind it? How did it come into creation? Abigail, did you write it? Are you the lyricist for the band? How does that work for you guys?
Yeah, I did the lyrics, and then I think the band they came up with all of the music behind it. Usually we do it where it's the music first and then I write to that. So that's kind of the process that we did for this one as well. And I kind of just wrote it about, I mean, a lot of mine are about fake friends, so I guess it's like kind of a trend, but this one's
Yeah.
also just kind of about like being left out in a group of people, not feeling like you're in the loop. That's kind of what I wrote it about. And yeah, James, do you have anything to say about the music?
Yeah,
How y'all came up with that?
yeah, it's funny, David, that you mentioned the riff because really most of our stuff, with the exception of, and you'll hear some great examples in the near future. The next drop that we're doing is kind of flipped on its head in that it was one of Abby's solo pop songs that we sort of turned into rock. But you mentioned the riff. Heather and I started playing together when we were like 15 years old, and it's always been about the riff. You know, we learned cover songs at first, but just riffing around, like Heather and I, a lot of times before we even added the other instruments, and like,
Yeah.
play it, chug along, find a riff, whatever. She's like, maybe do that another time. Maybe that's too many times, that sort of thing. So there's probably not much cosmic about the songwriting process per se. It kind of follows a pattern of the rhythm section gets down like kind of the riffs and everything, and then we throw it to Abby, and Abby does her thing to it, and then we kind of maybe tweak here and there, and then start to layer stuff in on top of that. But with the exception of I would call them adaptations that we're doing. The next one that's coming out, that's pretty much how they start out.
Hmm.
That's pretty incredible. It's really amazing to hear how that process works for everybody because all bands are different. They approach it in a different way. And I think what you guys do is the most natural way to really create the music. You really have sort of some of those riffs in your riff library and you bring them out and you play with them. And then suddenly Abigail goes, "Hey, I know what to put there." I'm assuming it sounds like it. This is what you do, and it fits. And I got to tell you, it's amazing to listen to it, you would think it was orchestrated by 10 people or something, because where you're coming in the way that you're coming in is just absolutely perfect. I've heard a lot of great bands before, but really the way that you're coming in with the vocals and the way that the riffs marry with that and just the overall feeling of the band is substantial.
Thank you
It's
so
a good thing.
much.
Well, you're
Yeah.
welcome. So what I like to do is talk about influences too, when it gets to, what are we going to do as a band, what direction. And I was reading your bio, and it's a very diversified background, I think, and that's also very good. So let's start with Corey, and this doesn't necessarily have to be a band. What I like to find out is it can be a person in your past, a family member. What got you down the road of saying, you know what, man, I want to rock and roll. I want to do this. What started you, Corey, down that road?
I was super fortunate. I have two parents that are just total just music nerds. My dad, who also plays guitar in the band, he's a huge Kiss fan, and so like in the car it would be like Kiss and Anthrax, but then it'd also be like Joe Satriani. And my mom was super into grunge growing up, so like it was the
Nice.
Breeders, and Lana, and Alice in Chains, and they were just super supportive of anything I wanted to do. And as I went into middle school, James was my band director. So,
Yeah, you got to mention your middle school band director for sure.
yeah, sorry.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I just grew up with a lot of like music in my household was always a thing. My parents always encouraged me to play music. I was horrible at it a lot, but I grew up playing drums and guitar, and they never stopped me they never censored what I wanted to listen to. So it just kind of grew from there. So anything from heavy metal to electronic or classical, they were just always accepting of it. So that was a huge help.
You hear that out there, parents? Turn up the radio tonight, man, and influence your kids in the right direction, man. And this could happen to them. And there's nothing like it. I mean, I grew up in the musical family as well, and there's nothing like performing. There's nothing like being on stage and connecting with people. It's really the best thing ever, and you guys do so good at it. James, let's talk about your influences, man. You see all those guitars on the wall if you're watching the video. What started all of that, man?
Yeah, I'm a fanboy for sure. I like all kinds of stuff. What Heather and I, when we were kids, like we went through different stages or whatever. She put up with me when we first started playing together. I was into hair metal, so
Yeah.
we learned nearly the whole album of "Look What the Cat Dragged In."
Oh, yes.
She hated every second of it, but
Good.
like that's kind of how and Motley Crue
How we
stuff.
learned.
That's how we learned, and we were school band nerds together. I was a trumpet player, she was a saxophone player, so we knew a chunk about music, and obviously a lot of it transferred. But I probably got stuck in the. I'm really interested in the Florida scene. Ironically, I love everything that's in the Scott Burns book. I'm fascinated by all of that. That's a bucket list item for me, honestly, is to get down to South Florida. I really like the old school death metal. Everything,
Yeah.
Chuck, everything about it. I love the DTA stuff. I also like the stuff that Rick Ross does with his group. So somewhere in between there and grunge is kind of where I hang out.
Yeah.
Obviously in the DFW area, Pantera is always an influence. And so that's probably, even though our music doesn't sound like it necessarily, that's like kind of where I live in terms of my taste.
Well, I'm the dude loves metal, American Metal Magazine, obviously, man, and that's a big attraction to me because I heard a very distinct heavy sound coming out of those riffs that I thought was just fantastic. So I feel that influence and what you're doing, man. I can see that coming from you, because the guitar work on this music, if you're out there listening, you just need to check it out because it's powerful, it's strong, it's not over the top, it's just right, if I could put it in the term. And so it's aggressive, and it just frames the entire vocal perfectly, along with the drums and everything in the bass. So let's get over to Heather. How about you? what started you down the road? What got you into this? How did that happen for you?
Well, like Corey, my parents were hippies. So I grew up on Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix and stuff like that. And my dad also played in band and he played a little bit of guitar. So, I mean, actually, James is one of the ones that really kind of pushed me into the drums. If he hadn't forced me to come over there and play Poison songs, I don't know. It really, we just kind of meshed and it kind of made me have to learn how to play. And that's really my influences. I mean, like him, I was in the metal in the early days, Sepultura, Slayer, Obituary, all that. Now that I'm older, I'm a little more mellow. I like, Deftones, and I love Lady
Yeah.
Gaga. And I'm just a whatever sounds good. So, but growing up, growing up, John Bonham is who I wanted to play like.
That's awesome. And that kind of diversity is really important in a drummer. That lets you get to different levels, I
I mean, I
think.
played in jazz band in high school for 1 year. It was one of
Wow.
the hardest things I ever did.
Yeah. See, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. And if you listen to the music, you can hear those distinctive elements, that give you that diversity as a drummer. And that, again, that all lends itself to what you guys do as a band. And kudos to that. And then great influences. Absolutely. Abigale. This is the one I've been waiting for the best.
Okay, so I guess my mom has always been a metalhead. I'm sure if you've heard our other interviews, I talk about her all the time, but she's definitely like a Waiting Abigail mom. She is like humongous like death metal fan. So
Love it.
every time I'm in the car with her, she's listening to death metal. She loves like In Flames, Ozzy Osbourne,
Oh, yeah.
different things like that. Megadeth, Metallica, all of that stuff. But
All stuff I listened to in high school.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's her style. But I kind of started off with musical theater. I'm still an acting major right now in college, but I did a lot of like musical theater, so that kind of started me off with like music in general. And then I did this like rock band, but it was like you paid to kind of play, like you paid to play in this rock band and y'all just do like cover songs and it's all like little kids just so that you kind of
Yeah.
learn how to do an instrument. And
Right.
so
School of Rock type
my
thing.
family was, what was it?
Like a school of
Yeah.
rock kind of deal.
Yeah, like
Kinda like
almost
a
School of
School of
Rock.
Rock type
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah. And so we did that, and my grandfather was very, 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 very supportive with that as well. And then my mom was like, "You need to do your rock stuff," because I was doing pop stuff right now. I was doing pop stuff at that point, and she was like, "You need to get in a rock band," and um, like, because they tour more, and so I was on band mix, and then I found James, and that's how this came to be.
Wow, man, that's incredible. We dropped your video feed for a second, but that's okay if everybody's wondering there. But you're good. You're back now. Nope, you're
My
sideways
mom
now.
was calling
Oh,
me.
there you go.
Speaking of my
Oh, is that
mom,
what happened?
yeah,
Yeah, man, that's good, man. That's all right, man. You had to take that phone call, man. Your mom sounds like she rocks,
she
and
is.
it's those influences, man. Now, my mom did not rock. Okay, she
Oh,
did not rock, but she did play the piano and taught me those core music theories, that really have lended itself through what I've done. But it's really incredible how you guys have took all these influences and sort of put them together, and this amazing, very full sound comes out. One of the questions I had on the production level, did you guys self-produce or did you take this? Because I have a couple of questions about the videos and the music. Who's working the production of all of this? I need to know that.
Our sound engineer is Alex Gerst, Empire Sound in Carrollton,
Yeah.
and he's great. He is obviously the engineer, but he also is a producer basically for us. He kind of gets as involved or as uninvolved as you want, but he's also real particular about what he'll put his name on. So, like
Right.
but it's a great relationship we have with him because like he'll straight up say, nope, that's
yeah.
not it. That's
He
not it.
say, "Can you play that fill a cooler fill than that?"
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, he's a drummer himself, and he won't get real specific necessarily, but like
Yeah.
even on the guitar, you know, he's not a guitar player at all, but he'll pick up a guitar and be like, let's layer something like this in, you know, and then hand me something. But he so he's recorded quite a few people around that and maybe if you're familiar with Ghoul Town, he did some Ghoul Town. I believe he did Messer and Empires, and so some of his stuff has been around on the charts. But it's really funny because I was away from playing guitar for a really long time while I was teaching school. I didn't even have a guitar. But when we were younger and we were recording an hour, I would say kind of grunge metal band is kind of what we ended up as kind of toward the end. Before I left, his dad was our recording engineer. And he had he was related somehow. Heather, did he play in the association? And then he ended up like being their kind of sound guy or something?
Yeah, I think so. I think he worked for like Jackson Guitars or something like that. I remember seeing like a picture of him on there.
Yeah, and the band, the association, I'm not really sure, but his name was Harvey, and he recorded our stuff when we were younger. And then Heather never stopped playing, so she's been playing drums in bands for a while. So she did a couple projects with him, and so he was the logical choice to go to. And I mean, we really like him a lot.
Mhm.
That's so important. You know, you have to have a producer that's encouraging and yet knows when to put the brakes on things, you know,
Yeah.
put you right in the right direction. You know, the thing, I've said this before, as a musician, your music is like children. It's really hard to judge them. You know, I've had songs that like a couple days later I went, oh man, that was terrible. You know,
Yeah.
that's, you know, at the time it was great though, but you know, that's how that works. So it's good to have somebody certainly steering you, and he is putting you in the right direction. Absolutely. Because the production level on your album, in the songs, in the tracks that I've heard, is 10 out of 10, man. It's perfect. It's really done well. So I want to get out a little, switch gears about the videos that you guys have done, man, because who came up with the concept for these? That's one of the big. I see Abigail's fellow. Let's go to her. How did that happen in the video concept? How did you guys come up with that?
You want to say it, James? Or do you want me to
Well,
talk?
you can. Why don't you talk about Falling Under? I'll tell them the general concept. So basically, um, another person that just kind of came into our orbit that has been a real blessing is Justin.
Mhm.
Justin's a guitar player for a band called Lockjaw, not to be confused with Lockjaw up north, but Lockjaw, Texas.
Yeah.
And he he's a very talented in a lot of different ways, but he was filling in with a band that rehearses next to us, and he was like, "Hey, you guys, I do videos, and I think your music's killer. You need a video." And we're like, "Yeah, we need a video." And so he kind of conceptually we collaborated, but conceptually he kind of came up with the first one, which was Bad Mind. He was like, it'll be shots of you guys playing, and then I'm gonna sort of do like the deal with Abby, and like she goes into her on the extended version, like she goes into her own mind.
Yeah.
We actually had to for YouTube, we had to so there's a theatrical version that has an extra minute on the beginning of it, and we had to take that off because it wasn't getting as many YouTube hits, just because like what happens in the first 30 seconds
The engagement.
yeah, the engagement. So there's kind of
Yeah.
two versions, but conceptually that was sort of him and Abby. And then I'll let her talk about the other one, Falling Under, kind of as a story to it also. Nice.
That's the real star. Hey, we need the
Mine are
crowd like
locked
Cameron.
out.
Yeah, for Falling Under, we ended up going to, whose house was it? It was Creeper, right?
It's
Creeper?
somebody they know. It's an old
Yeah.
house that's out in, yeah.
Yeah, we
It's
went to this like really old, like it almost looked like a Victorian mansion house to film Falling Under. And Justin came up with kind of the button eyes, so it was like almost like a Coraline
Yeah.
theme
Yeah.
video, which was really fun. And then we were always trying to like do the strings. It was really hard to like walk around because we had someone holding them. Usually it was his wife holding them to like make sure we could move. So it was a long process, but it was so fun. It was a really fun process. And my boyfriend was like the wife beater character.
Ah.
He was like, it was so fun. We had a great time.
Do you think that your experience in the theatrical roles that you're taking on really help play a role in the video? Because I see now that I
Sure.
understand it really, now I get it, because you were really fully acting in these
Yeah.
videos, and it comes through. If you haven't watched it, you need to go. I think when this comes out, they will definitely be back. Those videos will be back on AMM at the time of this. So please visit American Metal Magazine to check out these videos. At the time we're
Yes.
doing this interview, I read one of them had 113,000
Yeah.
hits and growing, man. And I can see why. It's an amazing video and amazing music. There's some other things happening too. You guys have been on the charts a little bit. Anybody tell me about that?
Yay. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
there's the stuff.
Simba,
Okay, wait, first of all, you can't bring the cat in, and she's a cat. The cat needs to be on the podcast.
you want him to be on the
Oh, yeah,
podcast?
who is the cat? We need the name of the cat. I have cats too. In fact, the cat before the show tore down my whole backdrop thing, man. I had to redo it.
Oh
And
no.
she's a little kitten, and she's just playful. She's part monkey instead of cat, by the way. So who do we got there, Abigail?
This is Simba. He's the most clingy cat you'll ever know. He follows me everywhere. I mean everywhere. I'm taking a shower, he'll jump in the shower. He's crazy.
Oh, we got a cat that does that. Isn't that weird, man? You know, I never
He's
thought
like-
a cat would do that. My cat does that.
And he
He's
tries to
been
eat my
on
food
I
too.
locked out the door.
Yeah.
They're meowing at the door right now.
I probably should have locked him out. He's being a pain.
And
but-
you know what's even better? You guys are cat people. So now,
Yeah.
you know, your
crazy
cool
cat lady.
points, like
Yeah.
just ding, 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 man, all over here at AMM. Well, you know, congratulations to everything that you guys have accomplished so far. And one of the things I'd like to ask is, what if it all came together? Well, it's coming together now, man. Yeah, it's kind of a question wasted on you guys because it is happening for you. But let's just say it just keeps going, and the money's coming in, and you've got no limitations whatsoever. Where would you go first? What would you do as a band? Have you guys thought about that big first step when it really comes together? Do you have any plans to do something at that level?
It's already blown our minds, David.
Yeah.
It's already literally Bad Mind. That EP was recorded to get our first show.
Yeah.
Like it was a demo.
Oh.
We were aware that we were getting good quality, you know, with Alex and stuff. But
Yeah.
and obviously I'm biased, but I'll just go ahead and throw it out there. Abby doesn't write a bad song. Like I mean, every tune that she writes, I mean, it's catchy and it's we definitely want to travel. I think that
Mhm.
that's really important,
Yeah.
that we travel and get out there. And I also feel strongly about building the catalog because we have a lot of people, four of us actively write music.
Yeah.
So the more time that we had to sort of do that, but we're for the most part everybody's like Monday through Friday 9 to 5 people, you know. So that's kind of what makes it difficult. So it's like, well, this you know, what if this thing did pop? What would we do? We have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have no idea.
Well, that's good, man. That way you guys don't have any preset, direction, and you're going to need that because you're going to need some flexibility. Because what I see is some movement for this band. I mean, you know, I've talked to some other DJ friends about you guys today, and they're excited about having you on their shows. And so it's just, man, you guys are gonna really make it. You know, your videos are really growing. Do you have any more videos in the works right now? Are you working on anything else?
Not yet, but we're thinking about some right now. We have some ideas percolating, but we haven't really done any like storylines or anything like that. But we have some ideas. So hopefully soon it'll get in the works.
There'll be another one before the end of
Yeah.
the year. There'll be
That's
one before
awesome.
the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, again, if you're listening at home, you can come to AmericanMetalMagazine.com and visit the AMMINDEX 2.0. There'll be a link here, and you're going to be able to find all of the links, the bio of this band. You're going to be able to find the article, is this interview, and most importantly, you're going to be able to find where you can purchase this music. Let me tell you something. A lot of work goes into producing this music. It's not free to make. That's a big investment, and this band really shines. So do me a favor out there, if you're listening, go to the website, buy some of this music and support this band. They are worthy of your support, and the trade-off is you're going to have some killer music. So share them on multimedia too, and social media. Really help this band move, because they're a significant band. I've got a question that is probably one of the hardest ones. If you listen to the interview a few times, you know that it's coming. And one of the hardest things is overcoming problems in a band. And I think you guys are almost really over the hill on what you need to accomplish, because I think you're starting to really move. But what were some of those either struggles that you have or struggles that you still have now that have been holding you back in your mind to really getting to the direction that you're trying to go? Has there been anything that's been difficult for you guys?
It's schedules. It's 100%
Yeah.
scheduling. And, when we sort of put these pieces together, like every person that's in this group is totally on purpose and not an accident. Like they were handpicked, and like we work together great. Our only obstacle, honestly, is that we all have lives outside of it,
Yeah.
and substantial. Like Lori's got a teenage son,
Oh yeah.
and then lots of people full-time jobs, and it's funny because people usually go to the age thing because we have a very, very wide age gap, like much wider than you would actually realize.
I didn't notice. I thought you kids were all in college. You kidding me?
Well,
Come on, man.
the real sleeper is Corey's dad, Mike. I don't want to give it away, but he's in his lower 60s. And so we have a wide age range. You would have no idea by the way that we work, the age thing. And Abby is so mature for her age, and
I'm
so
20.
Oh yeah.
yeah, she's
Just
20. So,
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Still have
Mind
X's on my
blown.
hands.
but yeah, she
Wow.
still gets X's on her hands, but not only for another year.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was 19 when she did all that when she did the EP, but no, it's definitely
Yeah.
100% time, and it's what puts the food on the table has to be the priority.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's why I say, it's all icing on the cake, brother. Everything that's happened so far and everything that does happen from now on is, and I think in a lot of ways that's helped us because we're not like grappling. I mean, we're trying. It's obvious we're trying,
Yeah.
but
Right.
we're not like, you can kind of push stuff away from you by almost grabbing too hard at things. So
Mhm.
I think that in a lot of ways that's helped us really not have some barriers, is the fact that this is all kind of gravy for us, and we didn't know if our music was any good or not, and then people liked it. We're like, holy shit, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
when people are going, holy crap, man, you
Yeah.
guys rock. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when you
Yeah.
know, right?
So really, I mean, I would say the only obstacle we have is just like it's 6 people that are involved. And Abby's in a lot of stuff. She does a really good job balancing her stuff, but she's in a ton of stuff. She's
Yeah,
like
sure.
filming a movie. She does theater. She does her own solo music and stuff like that. So just getting everybody to be able to spend time together. Now, again, creatively, it kind of works, right? Because I was talking about how we actually put songs together. So, it may just be me and Heather jam a couple times, and then the other stuff sort of builds. But yeah, we're coming up on the first time that we all rehearsed together at the same time, all 6 of us in the same room, was a week before our first show, which was December, I don't know,
21st.
something tenth.
Yeah.
Because our first show was December 21st last year, so we didn't even have all 6 of us in the same rehearsal until until then. So we're not even a year old yet.
Yeah.
Man, that blows my mind. People have worked for years and years struggling to get to where you guys are just right out the bat. And I think it's because you've got a lot of talent here, and when the numbers all line up, when those tumblers line up and the magic just happens, this is the result, folks. This band right here is the result of that happening. And it's incredible, because uh, there's, we were talking about different music influences and the differences in ages. And what I see is a music that transcends all of the ages, and that I'm seeing more with rock and roll that's doing that, certainly with metal as well. So we've got a bigger audience, I think, that we've ever had. I'd like to just touch one thing off the music real quick, because I heard something. What's this about a movie? Did I hear that right?
Oh yeah. I'm in this almost, it's like in a high school. So I'm supposed to be like 17 in the film, and it's called Pain and Harmony. We're not allowed to like release any details yet,
Sure, right. Yeah, that's all right.
but yeah, it should be coming out in like a year or two, hopefully. We're filming all of October, so that's the only like, it's always like an issue with, I guess, our scheduling for the band, because we have a lot in October. So I'm just running around, but I'll make it work.
Wow, that's impressive. Can I ask one question?
Yeah,
Does it have your music in it? Is it like a musical thing?
it is a musical thing, but it doesn't have my music in it.
Okay.
I did bring it up to him, so
Yeah,
maybe he'll put it in after filming for like background music and stuff, but it's a lot of different hymns, I guess. It's almost like a Glee type
I
movie.
got
That's
you.
all I'll say. That's all
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
say.
that's cool, man. That's
Yeah.
exciting, though. Well, we all look forward to that,
Yeah.
definitely. Well, it has been wonderful to have you guys on the show. This has really been a highlight for American Metal Magazine. What you're looking at here is an amazing band fronted by an amazing young lady who has a huge career ahead of her. This whole band has a huge career in front of it as well. And I really just can't wait to hear and see what happens next. Remember to go to AmericanMetalMagazine.com and check out all of the links. You're going to be able to find this band will be listed, and very easy to look up about their bio, more information, Facebook links, and everything else is available for you. So check them out. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say to anybody before we split out of here? Somebody that's really helped you, or friend or family or colleague? We can just go down. Let's start with Corey real quick. Anybody you want to shout about?
I mean, just my family. I mean, dad who's in the band. Hi, dad, and my mom too. So I wouldn't be a music dork like I am now without them. So, and all my friends who got me into it too. So, hi everyone.
Awesome. How about you, James? You got anybody you like to say hi to?
I wanted to definitely thank the DJs, all the internet DJs that made us pop. I mean, literally, like kind of overnight, it just spread like wildfire. We're very humbled by that, and just thrilled that people like our music. Like and then also to John and Gigi down at Curtain Call and Bo. The John is the SMR campaign is through those guys, so they've done a really good job. That was a complete surprise and shock that how well our tune's done on that. So shout out to Curtain Call and Rock Rage and all the guys down there in Florida that are pulling for us.
Yeah, I just not to interject. We're going to get to Heather real quick, but I just want to interject on that, just so y'all know, is that I've been asked to turn this interview over immediately to Bo Nasty on his show for
Ooh,
immediate air as soon as possible,
that's
because
awesome.
he's super excited about you guys. Heather, what about you? Anybody like you like to say hi or bye to?
I guess I would just give a shout out to my husband who helps me haul my
Oh.
drums around everywhere for the last 22 years. So I can say thanks to him because he really helps me out a lot.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah.
Hi,
Shout out to
Jason.
him.
How about you, Abigail? Who do you got to say hi to out there?
Definitely all of our listeners. Like, we're so thankful. We were not expecting it to blow up this big. And thank you to you for putting us on the show. Like,
Welcome.
we're so thankful. We love talking about this and just learning about even you. all that stuff, who you've been talking to, and who you're connected with as well. I guess I give a big shout out to my mom. She's got me kind of into this, and my grandpa, and then my boyfriend has come to every single show. Shout out to Bradley. So thank you for that. And again, thank you all of our listeners, and we really appreciate you guys, like truly, truly.
Well, this has been one incredible interview. And again, thank you guys so much for being on AMM. And we just can't wait to hear more. You guys have to promise me that at some point in the future, when you got a new album release, that you please come back to Air American Metal Magazine, because we would love to have you on anytime. Absolutely.
Thank you.
You got it.
Hey, before we split out of here, can I get a big go AMM? Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. Go,
Go AMM!
Wow! Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to American Metal Magazine. That was Awaiting Abigale, an excellent band. You can check out more about Awaiting Abigale at www.americanmetalmagazine.com, and I will catch you next time here on AMM.